It's past midnight. Her last message is one letter, K. Your phone glows on the desk beside cold coffee. You told her you wouldn't cancel plans for a late visit. Now you stare at the screen, tracking every response window. You feel one sentence ends a whole future. Mirror. In this attention economy, her silence feels like public judgment. You see, she's active, posting, replying to everyone but you. Each refresh tightens your chest and loosens your boundaries more. You start drafting apologies for having a life at all. You treat 3 dots on a screen like a chess match. Choose. Epictetus started life under another man's command, owned and ordered. He learned the one freedom no master touched was stance. You hand that freedom to a phone and her emojis. For 24 hours, treat each sting as deliberate training. Write what you control before you answer or reach. Standard. Epictetus would point at the only piece you own. Not her mood, not her dating. Dynamics, not her choices. Only your stance, your rules, you live, your masculine sovereignty. You think her short reply proves you went too far. It only marks the edge of what you control. Enforce. Epictetus starts here, not with feelings, with ownership. He splits your life into what is yours, your choices, your standards, your use of time. Her feelings and response windows are firmly outside that circle. You suffer when you pretend her world is yours. In his teaching, discipline means guarding desire and aversion. Want what depends on you, shrink from what you control. Everything else demands respect, not worship, not scarcity. You think peace comes from managing moods and dating signals. It comes from mastering where your reach actually ends. Picture his students in a small room, stone walls. He reminds them that praise, insults, and rejection share one feature. They cannot touch the throne inside unless invited there. You live the same lesson in the attention economy. Comments, stories, silence matter when you seat them inside. Now imagine you, phone in hand, halfway through training. She texts last minute, and work or training disappears. You move meetings, lose sleep, cancel plans to keep access. In dating dynamics, constant availability feels romantic, almost heroic. To her, and others watching, it often reads scarcity. Epictetus would call each surrendered plan a quiet rehearsal. Each time you bend, you practice being ruled, not ruling. Boundaries are rules you live in the attention economy. They are the forge that hardens character around priorities. Keep them few, clear, enforced, or they barely exist. You think boundaries push her away, make you uncaring. They reveal who refuses a seat beside a spine. You call it love when you erase yourself for attention online. It is the fear of being alone. Choose a life she can join instead of one surrendered. For 1 week, write 1 line for your dating dynamics. Describe when you leave what you refuse to cancel. Keep it where you see it before every date. Let that sentence become proof of masculine sovereignty, not theory. Walk. Epictetus calls it a simple error of placement and worship of externals. You take your sense of worth and set it outside her life. You balance it on her moods and shifting response windows online. When she pulls back, you feel your life tilting with her. You placed your goods in hands that never belonged to you. In this attention economy, her feed becomes your private weather channel. You watch dating signals like storm clouds rolling over your day. One story, one like, one absence bends your mood sideways, hard inside. You read every pause as judgment the whole world can see. You live as if notifications were a mirror, not a tool. Epictetus would say you behave like a child of fortune with screens. The slightest change in her tone scatters your composure and focus. You call it intuition when you feel certain she is gone. Most of the time it is projection, not prophecy, not clarity. You think you are reading her, you are rereading your fear. You scroll photos with male friends and rewrite the entire script again. You loosen boundaries that once protected your sleep, work, training, and focus. You start offering rides, favors, gifts you cannot afford calmly. You are bargaining with your fear of being unwanted, not loving. You trade masculine sovereignty piece by piece for glimpses of attention. Under Epictetus, the trap is not her stories or silence alone. It is the story that your value lives in her eyes. When that story rules you, chess becomes impossible on your side. Every move is a reaction, never principle, never rule you live by. You treat her reactions as commands, not information about fit or freedom. Here is the shift that breaks the leverage quietly and cleanly. Your good is your character, not her schedule or replies or stories. Your power is your stance, not your reach into her phone. Write, "Not in my control" before any answer, or none at all. Protect your good before her weather, then look again with clearer eyes. Choose. Epictetus starts with habit, not feelings, the small repeated choices. He says character is forged when you pick patterns. You are not a mystery. You are your rehearsals as a man. Every unanswered boundary and response window is another wrong rep. You become what you tolerate in silence. Mirror. In dating dynamics, ghosting returns, and you still make space. She cancels late, and you rush to reshuffle your calendar. You answer her midnight call, killing sleep and training yourself. You think you are being patient and understanding and strong. You are tutoring her in what she can safely ignore. Epictetus would call this practice, not an accident, a deliberate shaping. You train like an athlete, only toward a weaker spine. Each yes against your own boundary is weight on the bar. You are bending under it, not growing. Masculine sovereignty under pressure. The forge is hot, but you keep softening instead of hardening. You say she does not respect you, and repeat the pattern. You keep accepting situationships while saying you want commitment and clarity. You feel trapped, but you walk back whenever your phone lights. You think she is the jailer. Really, you hold the door. You hand her the key every time you cancel on yourself. Epictetus would point to the throne you keep, leaving empty. Respect never survives where you abandon your own rules. Her behavior reflects what you have been calmly teaching throughout. You are not cursed, you are consistent, and she reads consistency. Your boundaries are the curriculum for her expectations. In any attention economy, pick one behavior that crosses your stated line without hesitation. Write exactly what you will do the next time it appears. When it surfaces again, follow that sentence without inner debate. Let action, not arguments, introduce your new standard to both. Let the pattern collapse into one word: standard. Epictetus starts with cost, not comfort. When speaking of integrity for men, he names the trade you make for your own spine alone. You cannot worship approval and keep your boundaries intact in dating dynamics. You feel it when a firm no empties the room around you. You stand in a quieter house and call it failure inside. In the attention economy, absence looks like a verdict, not silence to you. You watch response windows as if they were courtroom doors. Friends keep moving, posting, dating around you while you hold your line. You read solitude as proof that your standards are too harsh. You forget standards always thin the crowd before they deepen connection. Epictetus chose a narrow life over chasing status and favor. He treated comfort as a test, not a compass for true value. You meet the test in dating dynamics when you decline late-night invitations. You stop answering "ooh up" and your name leaves her feed. You are quietly replaced, then slowly return to yourself inside, fully. Dating dynamics rarely reward a spine in the short term. You will lose some invitations, some parties, some messy closeness with her. You think mockery means you are wrong, hardened in the wrong places. Often your spine just reminds people where they abandoned their own. They laugh so they do not hear the echo inside. This is the forge where masculine sovereignty is hammered out in practice. Not in quotes, not in theories, in nights alone with yourself. You sit alone with a dark phone while the attention economy screams. No chasing, no performing, no bending your rules you live anymore. You hear your fear louder, but you also hear your center. You read silence as proof you made a mistake in love again. Sometimes it is only the sound of an old life burning off. Choose solitude with boundaries over noise, without a throne inside you. Take one evening you usually spend chasing, dating signals and replies. Sit, write what surfaces instead of numbing the weight you feel. Enforce. Epictetus works with practice and rehearsal, not vague intentions or mood. Daily, he trains men to meet insult and loss with prepared lines inside. You can do the same with boundary tests in dating dynamics consciously. You decide your openings before the game, like chess on dark felt. You stop improvising your soul every time her name appears online. The first stance is speech, the way your voice enters conflict clearly. Under Epictetus, you rehearse calm sentences before storms with her come. You do not argue over text, only in person, grounded, composed. You do not send essays when 2 lines would hold firm. You practice brevity as a boundary that protects both of you. The second stance is how you treat your phone and attention economy. Apps want your reflexes. Epictetus wants your chosen response windows guarded. You put the device face down when you work or study. You answer in blocks, not in constant panic and scarcity spirals. You think you need more lines. You need fewer compulsive checks. Fewer. Third stance is time. Your schedule as throne and quiet court. You block training, sleep, work, then let dating request polite entry. You do not cancel the court so one visitor feels special. You keep plans with yourself as seriously as plans with her consistently. You think sovereignty is control over her. It starts with the calendar. The fourth stance is body, what you enter and when you pause. Boundaries around physical pace are part of masculine sovereignty in love. You decide what you are ready for, at what rhythm, consciously. You let touch follow trust instead of patching anxiety after contact. You choose a path where desire grows because you can walk away. Write 3 rules you live for dating that guard these arenas well. 1 for time, 1 for communication, 1 for physical edges and pace. Read them before every date until they feel carved in you. You do not need a script, you need a stance you respect. Walk as if your rules already ruled you from within now. Epictetus looks at others and sees actors on their own stage. They move from what seems right to them, not you. She is not your extension, not your mirror by design. She follows her incentives, her fears, her history in dating dynamics. You are responsible for one role only, and it is yours. When you hold boundaries, you are not swinging a weapon. You are simply playing your move on your side of chess. Her reaction is response, not verdict, not carved judgment on masculinity. Some women pull back from masculine sovereignty, some lean in closer. Her pattern reveals fit. It does not rewrite your worth. In the attention economy, some women expect men to collapse kindly. Endless availability has trained them to see no as strange. Your steadiness may confuse her, or calm her, or push her away. You have been treating her reactions as grades on your masculinity. They are data about alignment with your life, not divine marks. Epictetus would tell you to guard your rules. You do not owe conversion, persuasion, or endless explanation to anyone. You owe a consistent stance that matches your stated boundaries. You do not need every woman to approve of those lines. You need a life that can welcome one who respects them. Picture 2 figures crossing a bridge under city lights, separate. She has her script, you have yours, written long before. Her reaction is simply a mirror of her conditioning, not you. You are free to step aside instead of rewriting her whole character. Boundaries become a filter, not a weapon, in dating dynamics. When a boundary brings friction, pause and ask one quiet question. If this is who she is, can you live there? Take your answer seriously and choose alignment over cheap approval. You do not need every woman. You need a life shared. Choose. Epictetus points past comfort toward a life, aligned with reason. A good life is not dragged behind every passing desire. It moves with a quiet center, even when feelings burn. You sense that pull whenever you are tired of chasing reassurance. Boundaries become the frame where real love can breathe. They guard the room so affection does not swallow you whole. Without them, every yes you offer leaks into slow resentment. With them, your heart can stay open without losing its outline. His students were not chasing comfort. They chased freedom of soul. They treated hardship as training for heavier losses and tests. You mirror them whenever you keep standards and lose a fling. Dating dynamics cut noise first, then make space for depth. In the attention economy, a man with a mission stands out. He moves like his time already belongs to something beyond approval. Masculine sovereignty is not loud. It is consistent and calm. You stop auditioning for her and invite her into direction. You are not building walls. You are building a place. Love should not compete with your fear and constant scarcity. You do not need perfection to practice these boundaries in dating. You need a no that makes your yes worth trusting. This is the forge where your patterns harden into reputation. Over time, your choices advertise your standards louder than speeches. They become your invitation in dating dynamics, or your warning. So, write one mission outside dating that your boundaries will guard. Craft, study, work. Something that would matter even if she left. Put it on paper, then into your calendar as quiet law. Let your schedule become a throne, not a waiting room. Choose a future where you can offer steadiness, not performance. Choose rules you live that honor love instead of hunger. Choose a life you would sign your name under. Standard,